And of course, lots happening in the market as well. So let's get straight to that. I think the first company that we have on our radar is Route Mobile. The management in its last interview told us that January was a very strong quarter for them. To discuss how the company's performance has been in February so far, we have David Vigar, who is the Executive Vice President Digital at Route Mobile, who's joining in. David, thanks a lot for joining in on the show. I want to start by asking you about your performance in February so far. How has it been? And would you like to change your guidance in any way, your FY23 guidance that you had put out?
Hi, thanks for having me on. In terms of the performance in February, I'm going to leave that to the corporate team to provide guidance to the market. My focus here is on our identity services.
Go ahead. So, in terms of identity services, what have you seen in terms of a movement? How are the trends like on the ground, and what is the prognosis for the next 1 year?
Sure. We've seen in the last 2 to 3 years in particular, there's been a huge migration from consumers to how they interact and transact with businesses, moving further and further online, and particularly are transacting and interacting on mobile web. With that comes a huge number of challenges for businesses, really to understand, am I talking to the person that I think I'm talking to? Am I talking to David? Or has David been the victim of some kind of fraud? Is this an imposter? Or very simply, is this a bot? And we've created a new business unit, a new company, Truesense, within the Route Mobile Group, which is formed to help solve those challenges for enterprise.
Okay. Can you give us a few numbers when it comes to Truesense? Because that is expected to be the next big platform which is launched by Route Mobile. In terms of what you all are targeting when it comes to numbers going into FY24, say on the revenue as well as the EBITDA and profitability?
Right now, we're really focused on getting the products launched in India, and those are going to be coming through in the first quarter of the next financial year. Again, we'll start providing some guidance on what that means in terms of numbers for the financial year 2024 in due course, and the team will share that very soon.
So what might the investments though be? I'm sure there will be some amount of capital investments which will go into building up the platform. What is outlined right now, and how exactly would it be funded?
So we're funding it from the existing business. Obviously, Route Mobile has had a very good year, as Rajdip has spoken to in the past couple of months. So we're funding the growth of Truesense, the investment in the platform and the team from the existing business.
I understand that you won't be able to run the numbers for your company, etc. Just wanted to understand what the size of the opportunity for a service like this would be, and the kind of market share that you guys could potentially target in a few years from now.
Yeah, the opportunity is enormous, and the opportunity is not just in India. Obviously, India is a very important market to us, and that's where we're going to be focusing our efforts first. But the global opportunity is huge. We look at you look at numbers such as SIM swap fraud. One of the challenges we're looking to help consumers avoid the impact from, and obviously enterprise avoid the impact from. That's cost more than $10 million in the UK market in the last 5 years. That's just one of the many challenges that we're trying to solve. So really, the opportunity is enormous. And in terms of the share, we have a great first mover advantage, particularly in India and in other emerging markets. We've built great technology within the group over the last couple of years, and now we're going to take that out to more markets, to more customers. And I'm very confident that we've got a good run to really be a leader in this space.
As you said yourself, right, you're trying to secure digital transactions through a reliable ecosystem, and that's what you're trying to do with Truesense. Anything else in this space that you plan to do in the near future, either in terms of acquisitions or launching some more new platforms to strengthen this entire vertical?
I think it's too early to talk about acquisitions. Right now, we're going to launch what we're building. And what we're building really falls into 2 categories. It's around trust. So if I'm providing my unique identifier, my data to an e-commerce site or a bank or a consumer application, helping that enterprise understand, is that David, as I said earlier. And then the second piece is verifying that data. So looking at, if I'm providing a phone number, How do I verify that David is still in control of that phone number? Those are the areas that we're looking at. And that's going to be the focus for our product development, and those are the products we're going to be looking to launch to the market.
Okay. David, just a quick word on the competition, because you did say that you have a first mover advantage when it comes to India as well as emerging markets. So can you just outline what exactly the competitive scenario looks like at this point? How many other companies are you competing with in the same space, and hence what might your market share be?
Sure. So there are other companies that are starting to look at this space, and including in India and some of the emerging markets we're looking at. I think the differentiator with Truesense is one is that we are looking at this from a multinational perspective. A number of the companies in this space are purely focused on the Indian market, and whilst that's great for a number of Indian businesses, a lot of consumer applications in particular, a lot of e-commerce sites are increasingly starting or moving to multinational, and they'll need support for these services across borders. In terms of what market share we're targeting, we're going to ship our products and we'll see how we get on. We're very confident that we'll be a leader in this space.
As a part of the overall company's revenue, how big do you think Truesense can be in the next couple of years? And while you are investing in this, what will the profitability metrics of this look like? Because, I mean, in the initial years, of course, it would be lower than the overall company's average. And by when does it come back to the company's average?
Sure. So in terms of looking 2 to 5 years out, we believe we can be a significant portion of the company's revenue. With these identity services, we're targeting these as being a higher margin business than we have today. That's obviously going to take a little bit of time as we focus some of our spend on investing, on building the platform, building the team out. But ultimately, we're looking at these as higher margin products.
All right, we leave it at that. Thanks a lot for joining in, David. All the best with the move and the launch of the platform. That's Route Mobile. By the way, for the market as well, not too much happening. The Nifty just consolidating around that 17,660 mark, still down just about 50 odd points. We'll take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we will talk about stocks that are gaining in trade on the back of news updates coming up in just a bit.